Temple.
Yes, very good. Do you feel like you're inside or outside of it?
I'm already inside of it. There's a lot of people here looking at me.
Yes. What do the people look like?
It's hard to tell. It's different beings.
What kind of shapes do
Lots
they
of
have?
energy.
Okay.
Almost feels a bit heavy
How so?
against my body. Like it takes your breath away.
Yes.
There's light beings. There's ones that look like insects.
Yes.
They're all sitting waiting.
What do you think they're waiting for?
For me, I think.
Yes. Do you feel familiar to them? Are they familiar to you?
No. One feels familiar.
Which one is that?
It's the one closest to me. It's a bright light.
Yes.
I think that's my higher self.
What color is that light?
It's a bright white with blue in it.
Yes. And are you able to communicate with that bright light?
Yes.
And what do you ask it?
Oh, I haven't asked it anything.
Does your higher self have anything to say to you?
She's just telling me to just breathe. The energy might be a little overwhelming, but I'll be fine.
Yes. And does she know why you have to be here on this day?
Yes. She says I have work to do.
You have work to do?
Yes.
In which way?
I'm not sure. It feels like I can help with something. I'm not sure what it is.
Okay. And do the other beings maybe know what it is?
I think so. I feel like I'm waiting for one of them.
Okay. And does one of them kind of stand out more to you than the others?
Yes. It looks like almost like a praying mantis.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it kind of big or small?
Big.
What color is it?
It's hard to say with all the bright lights from the other beings. I feel like my eyes are watering a little bit.
Okay. Why do you think they're so bright?
Because their energy is so strong and pure.
And if you look down at yourself, what do you notice about yourself?
That I also have light around me.
In which form do you feel like you are there?
In my normal form, I can see my feet, but I'm just encapsulated with light as well.
Okay. And if you look behind you, is there anything that's tying you to this world? Or around you?
No.
Okay.
I'm in this gold temple, and I'm in the middle, and they're all in a circle around me. Nothing seems familiar.
Okay.
I don't even recognize the engravings.
So you see engravings on the walls?
On the temple walls.
Does
It's
anything...
more like a pyramid, I think.
Okay. And are you able to communicate with this praying mantis?
Yes. I think I can.
And does he have any messages for you? Kind of telepathically connect with him?
Yes, that's what I'm doing.
And what does he say?
I think he is waiting for me to ask him, but I don't know what to ask.
What can he help us with?
There's a variety of things that they help the planet with. But it sounds like he is here for a purpose. For when he gets called to communicate.
Why does he need to communicate today?
I'm not sure. It sounds like they all need to communicate, but they're all waiting. It's almost like a queue, I think. I don't know how else to explain it. It's a bit strange. It's almost as if they're waiting for me to ask what I need.
What do you need?
I don't know. I don't really feel like I need much at this moment.
Yeah.
This energy is so fulfilling.
Yes. Okay. Well, we have some questions on behalf of someone else today. Would we be able to ask those questions and connect to that person's higher self?
Yes, we can try. There's lots of people in the room.
Okay. So we had a request to make contact with Pete's higher self today. Would that be permitted?
Yes.
Okay. And how does his higher self kind of come across?
I'm still waiting for him to come forward out of the group. We have asked and now we are just waiting.
Okay. And does he appear?
Yes, there's a bright light approaching.
Yes. What color is that light?
It's also bright, but it's got some emerald in it. Almost like a green or a turquoise. And now I want to say almost a bit of red.
Yes. Okay.
His energy is a lot softer. It's not so overwhelming.
Okay.
He says that he is ready to try and communicate.
Okay. And how will he know that that is his higher self communicating?
He will know it. He is connected to his higher self.
Okay. Okay, so can we ask questions on his behalf?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so has he overcome his ancestral issues with alcohol, and what are the origins?
Most of the journey has been overcome, but there are still a few things that need to be tended to. When breaking things, especially of an ancestral nature, it is not always as easy as one might think, because there is a lot of residue energy that stays behind, and sometimes those things take time. It's like a wound that is open and makes a scab. Your wound does not hurt anymore when you have the scab, and so you forget that it is there, but it is there until the scab has healed on its own. When it comes to certain addictions in the body, it is a daily challenge. It will be a daily challenge always to fight that nature and that urge that is within the body because of that energetical residue.
And you said that he kind of did overcome it mostly, right?
Most of it. There is still a little bit of an emotional aspect that needs to be tended to.
What kind of emotional aspect is that?
I think just a self-forgiveness and acceptance.
Of what?
Of the situation, of what has occurred and what has not occurred and why it has occurred.
What are the origins of his, kind of alcohol problems?
Well, we would like to say that there are many aspects. It is not always just down to one aspect. But in this life, it was difficult to fight that lineage and overcome it. And therefore, one became susceptible to choosing the wrong path. Not necessarily the wrong path. We are just struggling with our words and the vocabulary in this vessel. Just give us a moment, please.
Okay.
It seems like it is something that has come through the genetical bloodline. It is something that had happened before he was born. But it is part of his vessel and it is part of his blood. It's almost as if his mother consumed alcohol while he was in her womb, for lack of a better way of explaining it.
Yes.
And therefore it has become a part of his physical not just energetical, but his physical genetics. And that is therefore why it has become so difficult to overcome it. This is a process that has been passed down through generations.
And you're saying, but was his mom drinking alcohol when she kind of just found out, or just a little bit of alcohol? What was the situation?
It's not to say that his mom was abusing alcohol while she was pregnant. It was just a way to try and explain that it is something that is in his physical body that was carried over genetically from his parents.
Yes.
I feel like it's the way that it is being shown is that it is two lines that came together as one that had the same issue.
Okay.
Either from a grandmother or a grandfather. But there was definitely a woman in play somewhere in the lines that it then became genetically carried over, and was not just an emotional circumstance that was carried over.
Yes. Okay. Is there anything else about this affinity for alcohol?
Something about the taste. That it is difficult to find a taste replacement.
Yes.
And that therefore also makes it difficult to get over the journey completely. I feel like I'm being shown a lot.
Okay. What's the image that's
it's almost as if it's difficult to find something that satisfies that taste. It's more about the enjoying of the taste than it is of how it makes you feel, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Which then is what is making it a little bit difficult to completely overcome, is finding something that replaces the taste.
Yes. Is there any advice for him on that?
To just know that every day it is a journey and every day it is a decision. And it will become easier, but that he is almost there. He also just needs to forgive himself. And I feel there's a lot of forgiveness that still needs to happen.
And does he need to abstain completely, or should he can he still drink a bit?
Abstinence is always, we would say, the best way. But for the purposes of this, we feel that it is a personal choice, but we would say to abstain completely.
Why is that?
Because it will help the body to overcome it faster. It will help the mouth forget the taste.
Okay.
It is like this vessel with her cigarettes.
Yes.
She does not smoke because it gives her an emotional reaction. She just really likes the way it tastes. And that is why she cannot give it up, because she is not able to find a taste replacement. She has tried other things thinking that it will help, but it won't. And that is why we say sometimes it is best to just go, as you humans say, cold turkey.
Okay. But I think he has found taste replacements in kind of alcohol-free beverages, so he can maybe proceed with that.
Yes, but alcohol-free is not completely alcohol-free, but it is a good replacement. We would say that he could continue with that, but not to engage in the others. Because then the journey that he has accomplished thus far will be for nothing, because he will go back and have to start again.
Okay. Okay, and should his company, Santa Ana's, open a barbecue restaurant and brand home on Lawrenceford Estate?
If the energy is right, then it will all work out, and it is meant to be. I feel like there is a lot of things happening in that area at the moment. I get a very busy energy from it, a positive, busy energy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to understand what I'm being told, to find a way to articulate it. It is quite difficult to use language when you cannot use energy.
Well, simple words.
We feel like it is the energy there is busy and productive and good. We feel it could be a success and that it might be worth pursuing.
So he should.
But everything comes with challenges, and it is for one to decide whether the challenges are whether the pain is worth the gain. It will not be easy. There will be a few challenges that we can foresee.
Anything that you can kind of tell him about?
I feel like there is somebody in the circle that's energy is not 100% correct. They are not being completely forthcoming or open about something.
Okay.
And that will create problems later.
Is it a person that he would be dealing with there in the kind of group?
We would say yes. We would say that energy is related to that group.
Okay.
We do not know how big that group is, but there is one energy. We do not want to say that energy is bad and must not be involved. We are just saying that energy might not be as forthcoming. It feels like there is the energy is not completely open, it is hidden, and therefore we perceive it as a negative energy and say that it is not forthcoming. The way that energy is moving, because we're being shown the energy, we have not needed to interpret through pictures as much as we are having to do now. So we apologize if it is difficult to explain things and it takes some time.
Is there any other way to maybe get the information instead of visuals?
Yes, we are trying to see if there is going to be a better way. Yes, there is somebody that is not being completely forthcoming. They are not being completely honest about something. It doesn't read as a big problem, but it can become a big problem later on. It is not always easy to work with people who are not forthcoming, and we sense that a type of trust might be broken if it is not dealt with now.
And is that someone that he already knows?
I feel like it is a newer energy, somebody that has come in recently or is coming in.
Okay. And what will that person not be forthcoming about?
Their motives. They will seem very helpful, but they are not helpful. It is almost as if they are going to slow the process down deliberately.
What would that person gain from that?
We feel it has something to do with ego and pride.
What would that benefit?
This person was just rubbed up the wrong way. Yes. And is not doing everything that they say that they are going to do. They're going to have to do things and say that they will do it, but there will be arguments because there will be follow-ups and they will not be doing things when they say they do things. Okay. It is not big problems, but later on it can create big problems, especially because we feel that all of this is very much built on trust relationships, and this might damage the trust.
Okay, do you have any advice for him when you go, if he has to proceed and, start the barbecue restaurant?
He will know that first initial reaction or thought is always right. It is the untainted one. So just to trust himself that when he knows something is not right or he does not like something when this person is around, to trust that.
And should he speak up then, or what should he do?
He will know what to do in that moment and how to handle the situation if he stays true to himself and listens.
Okay. Any other advice for him on this endeavor?
I'm being told he's going to have to rest. It's going to be a very big project and it's going to be emotionally and physically draining. And that he should try and limit activities, unnecessary activities, while embarking on this journey as to avoid burnout.
Yes. So what should he eliminate from his life?
I see there should be... It's hard to explain because it's like the energy is just one of busyness. It is almost as if he finds it hard to sometimes just switch off the mind and to take time to switch off the mind.
What kind of activities can he do to do that?
Oh, just sitting outside in the garden in silence, taking walks with his partner, not always focusing on the problems and trying to focus more on the good things in a conversation before jumping into the problems. Little things like that, just to avoid burnout and stress.
Okay. And how can he improve his energy healing skills? He seems to be very good at kind of Reiki, like energy healing with his hands. How can he improve that?
It is a gift that he was born with. That is what he is here to do. He is supposed to be doing more healing with his energy and his hands. We say it is practice. Practice, practice, practice that unlocks the levels as you go. You come into this earth not being able to easily access your gifts, and as you access them and use them, you gain more, you access more. So utilizing his gift more, practicing more, believing in oneself more is the best way to go about it.
And how should he physically do that work?
Practice on people, practice on himself, use his hands, trust. It is always trust. Humans are very disconnected from their vessels. Your vessel shows you what to do if you are just tapped in. More meditating and focusing on the healing aspects will also go a long way. More time in nature. Nature is also one of the easiest and best ways in order to recharge your energy centers for healing.
How does one do that?
By simply being and appreciating and having gratitude. Sitting down, for instance, talking to the tree and saying, "Hey tree, thank you for the shade that you have provided. It is much needed. I can feel it healing my body and charging my energy centers." And then it is done. It is as easy as that.
I suppose the belief just it wouldn't be there from the person that it has actually happened.
Yes, you have to believe it. But that's why we say repetition and practice. Because sometimes you need to make yourself believe in yourself, even. That is what Yeshua, or Jesus, as they call it, that is all that he did. He just believed in himself completely and believed in the energy. And he would not let anybody falter his trust. That is why he had access to all of the healing miracles or magic or whatever words you humans like to use. But every single one of you are capable of doing exactly what he did. He was not lying when he said all it takes is the faith of a mustard seed to move a mountain. And he means physically move the mountain. And it is the same with anybody who is working on themselves and growing their gifts. The moment you are in the middle of using your gift and you doubt yourself for even a second, you lose that energy. So working on your self-belief, and that happens with practice. The more you do it, the more confidence the human builds up. And once you humans have confidence in something, well, there's your belief and you are unstoppable, even stubborn at times.
I suppose that was true for me too, because when I started QHHT, I wasn't believing in myself, and now I've been doing it for 5 years, and it's so natural, and I believe 100% in it. So.
It has become like second nature for you. It is like breathing or eating. You do not consciously have to think about it.
No.
And that was from practice. And that is what we are saying. We are happy that you understand.
Yes. Okay, and is there anything relevant or important, that he can learn from any past life? Any relevant past lives coming up?
I'm being shown like Western times, almost like a cowboy.
Tell me more about that.
Almost like a sheriff or a protector of other people.
Yes. Is that what he was?
Yes. But I feel the lesson that he had to learn in that life was, as you humans would say, sometimes it is not necessary to go in guns blazing. And that, I think, is the lesson that we are trying to show. Sometimes a softer approach has better results.
Oh, he's quite gentle in this life. Maybe he's learned that lesson.
Yes.
And why is it?
That is why what we are trying to show.
Yes.
Is what he has accomplished.
Why is it important for him to know that today?
So that he knows that he is doing the right thing and going about things the right way. We feel that sometimes there is self-doubt about the gentle nature, but it is the right way. It is how it needs to be done. He learned the lesson and he must not doubt himself, because he does not need to learn that lesson again.
What happened in that life?
But he also needs to be gentle with himself sometimes. I feel he is gentle around, but not gentle inside. He is very critical and hard on himself, especially with failures.
Yes. What should he do instead?
Know that you cannot achieve success without failure, and that failure is, in fact, your success.
How is failure success?
Well, it is a form of learning. If you just succeed with everything you do and get everything right the whole time, how boring would life be? What is there to learn? But if you rode your bicycle down a fast hill and you slammed on the brakes and you did not wear a helmet and you fell, you failed at going down that hill, but it wasn't a failure because you learned, we cannot use the brakes in that way. We cannot go in that speed. We need to sit in this position. We need to make sure we have our helmets on, and then you will have success going down the next hill. But you would not have that success if you did not first have that failure. Being human is failing and learning and failing and learning. It's about getting up and doing it again. You are here for a physical experience, the physical experience of learning. Earth is a school after all.
Okay, and what happened in that life that he was kind of this protector? Was he too kind of forceful?
He allowed circumstances and life to make him hard and bitter. He lost his gentle side, and therefore pride and ego got in the way. He handled a situation incorrectly, and an innocent woman died accidentally. It was very painful for him. He also surrendered to drinking after that situation in that past life.
So he couldn't handle the emotions?
He could not handle the emotions of it, and alcohol had then taken over him.
And what happened?
Well, he squandered the rest of his life because he could not get past that. It was only towards the end of the life that he realized the lesson. We would say just in time, so that that lesson was not carried over into this life, but he still holds that critical part of himself.
What should he do? What can he do to dissolve that and to improve the relationship with self?
To know that sometimes things are just not your fault. Everything is not in your control, even if it seems like you are at the center of it. And to give yourself grace. One should applaud oneself for failure rather than for success. The failure is the most important part. The success is not so much. That's why success is short-lived.
Well, I'm making bath bombs at the moment, and it's just failure after failure after failure, and after a while you just don't feel like you want to do it anymore. What is the lesson there?
That is where the challenge comes in, because it's about not giving up. You are at the finish line, and you are about to give up on the race, just because you cannot see that your failures have brought you right to the finish line. And that is what we feel is important to know, that a lot of the times you humans give up right at the finish line and you don't even know it. You were about to cross the line, win that race, accomplish that goal, and at the last moment you gave up, you lost your stamina because you did not believe that your failure was leading to success.
But in my case, it feels like the finish line is just keep on moving further away towards the horizon.
It is because you are losing confidence in yourself and what you are doing, and therefore you are energetically pushing that line further away from yourself.
How can I regain confidence?
Sometimes all one needs is a time out. When things become too overwhelming and you are losing your focus, your passion, your clarity, and you are becoming negative about something, simply put it down and walk away. It is that easy. It may take 1 day, 2 days, 1 hour, 3 hours, 6 months, or a year. But you were going to reach that moment where all of a sudden you just wake up or sit up or standing in the kitchen wondering, what am I going to do now? Oh, wait, let me try the bath bombs again, for example. And you will get back into it. The key is to not be too much in one's mind about the failure. Trying to solve the problems all the time and focusing on that gives you a negative mindset. You then cannot attract. With the negativity pushes things away from you, and therefore it will move the goalposts further and further away. You will eventually accomplish that goal, but how long it takes is up to you. But when things are feeling frustrated and overwhelming, the best thing you humans can do is take a time out. Clear your mind, focus on something else so that your passion and your clarity can continue to grow and come back. You humans are very good at allowing negative thoughts to control your mood and your vibration, and thus taking a break or trying to change the situation. This vessel likes to use humor. So even in the most inappropriate times when she is uncomfortable or sad or upset about something, she will use humor or crack an inappropriate joke. That is, she does not care what anybody else thinks when she does that. She does that because she knows it is the fastest way for her to not be negative about it. Because if she makes a joke, she laughs, and the moment she starts laughing, she cannot be negative anymore.
Okay, and is there any other relevant past lives for him to do?
No, we feel that that was the only relevant one because we wanted to show him how much he has already accomplished.
Okay, and he wants to know, should he start CBT, which is called Cognitive Behavioral Therapy sessions, with his psychologist again this year? He was doing it last year, but he stopped.
We feel like it did help with him a lot, but there is a reason why it stopped. We say that if there is doubt, that is already your answer. If it was something that he knew he was going to do and wants to make sure it is correct, we would say do it, because he already knows. The fact that he is doubtful is already answer enough.
So he was doubting kind of the technique or the effectiveness of it, or what was he doubting?
The doubt is whether or not he should continue, which means the doubt then is whether or not he believes it made a difference. And nothing can work and everything can work because it is all about your personal belief.
So what should he do then? Should he kind of re-examine his beliefs about it and then make a decision? Or?
We would say to give it a try and then to decide.
Okay, anything else about CBT for him?
That he can get the results he wants if he believes he can get it.
But is that technique effective for him?
We feel like there are other things that might be better suited to him.
Anything, for example?
I'm seeing physical activities.
What will that help?
Being shown physical activities will help the mind and the body overcome a lot of the stress issues.
Yes. What kind of physical activity?
Exercise. Walking. I see water.
He likes to be in water.
Yes, I just see water with boats. I'm just being shown water and fish. I'm being shown mountains, hiking almost, climbing.
Trail running.
Yes.
Okay. And that will help him?
Yes, those activities will help the body with the cortisol and the stress, which in return can help the mind and bring one clarity. Exercise is a very good way of overcoming depression as well. Not that he has depression, we are just saying generally there are a lot of benefits to exercise. But we feel he has reached and accomplished what he could from that type of therapy, and it is actually not necessary to continue unless it is something he really believes that he requires.
Okay.
I'm hearing talk therapy. Just to be able to talk and freely express the emotions and hearing them out loud will also help.
So he maybe should just talk to a counselor just to be able to
just somebody that he can just talk to freely about what is going on. We feel will have a greater benefit. It is not so much anything that needs to be changed or fixed. It is more things that have already been fixed that now just need nurturing.
Okay. And is there anyone specifically you should be doing that with?
There is no one specific, but we feel that conversations with you will also help.
Yes, but I think so we can maybe have more open conversations about his feelings and his day and his emotions, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and does he have anything blocking his abilities at the moment, and what is it and how can he remove the block?
It is just his belief.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that is holding him back is that the belief is not where it should be. So again, we will say that practice, we feel the physical activity of doing those things to practice will be the best way to overcome those blocks. We do, however, feel that there is a bit of a block on the crown chakra as well.
What caused that? Sorry, go ahead.
You humans block your crown chakra all the time just from overthinking and then unblock it again before you've even realized. We do find that his mind has been very busy with activities of thinking because of a lot of things that is happening and wanting to happen. So we would just say to try and use either crystals or grounding, or there is so many things, chakra, yoga, meditations, to just on a daily basis in the mornings to clear his crown chakra. It will give him a lot of more mental clarity throughout the day, and that in turn will create a cycle where things will start flowing.
Yes. And what abilities does he have? Kind of spiritual abilities?
Well, he has many. Are you referring to the ones that he currently knows of that have started unlocking, or are you referring to the ones that you guys do not yet know of?
Well, both, whichever is most significant for him to know about.
Well, he has a very healing aura and energy. He has healing centers in his palms. He can use his hands for healing and shifting energy. He is also clairaudient and does not fully understand that capability yet. Sometimes the mind will seem busy with thoughts, but it is actually because he is hearing other people around him.
So he hears other people's thoughts, or what?
Yes, he can. Being clairaudient isn't specifically mind reading. It is when people are thinking out loud and sending their thoughts out into the universe that he can then pick up on it and hear it. It will come as his own thought in his mind. It is not always that. This particular vessel also went through a journey of discovering that and learning how to switch that on and off as to keep the mind clear and quiet. This can only be done through meditation.
So it's kind of telepathic, telepathy type of thing.
Yes, telepathy is a very loose word for it because you have clear cognizance as well. You humans and your very complicated vocabularies, which is more of a telepathic nature. That means that that person can physically go into your mind and see memories and read thoughts. Being clairaudient is just hearing what people are saying. That means that he would be able to sit and tap into two people having a conversation on the other side of the world that are talking to each other over coffee. He will literally be able to hear that entire conversation word for word. So when people are loosely thinking out loud in their heads, as in thinking thoughts where it's almost as if their lips are wanting to move because they are talking to themselves, he is then able to hear that.
Okay.
And because it is a form of communication. Whereas claircognizance is going into somebody's mind without their permission. That is communicating more on a telepathic level.
Okay. And so how would he know then, that it's his voice or someone else's voice? Like how should he distinguish?
If you are in tune and you have been practicing for a while, you will eventually hear the voices in their voices, and you will know that this is not my normal thinking voice. This is the other voice that is relaying conversations. There are different ways to practice this technique. We would say that you and a friend could go sit in a separate room and have a conversation about him while he sits in the other room. And he can try and hear what you guys are saying. Sometimes it will come up as an emotion. He will just feel, oh, they are saying something negative. Or he will actually hear the negative, oh, he is so loud, or he is so bombastic. You need to play around with it.
Okay.
It is like this vessel has a gift of finding things, of finding energy. So she would play a game with her sister in Denmark. Her sister would get an item and hide it somewhere in the house, and she would have to guess what the item is and where it is. And they used to jokingly play this game without realizing that it was strengthening her energetic reading abilities. We are saying this because we are trying to give an example of how you can play around with his clairaudience and play these games. You can be in the bathroom, in the shower, and he can be far away from you, and you can keep repeating the same word over, for instance, like elephant, elephant, big fat elephant. And then if he then will come to you and say, oh, I just thought of an elephant. Yes, okay, you heard me. I was saying elephant.
Okay.
So you can have fun with games like that. The clairaudience is very important when it comes to healing, because not only do you need to heal the energy, but you need to be able to hear the energy as well as the person that you are healing in order to best be able to perform your healing. It is this clairaudience that will also serve him well for his business adventures coming forward in the years in this lifetime. There will be a few, because it will make him less susceptible for having people not being honest.
So if he was in conversation with the person that's dishonest, how would he know that?
Because he would be able to hear their opposite thoughts.
Okay, so they'll say one thing.
One cannot lie with their mouth while keeping their minds closed off. When we say closed off, we mean as in closed for telepathy. People have learned to put shields around their minds. Now, when you are talking in your mind, you cannot do this. You cannot close your mind off. And when you are lying, your mind is thinking about the lie and the truth at the same time. He would be able to hear the truth.
Okay, that's actually a really good gift.
It is a very good
gift
to have.
Okay.
It is not a gift, it is a skill. We do not like to refer to these as gifts. These are skills that each human being has. Some people are just better at unlocking certain skills than others. Some can unlock all skills and some cannot.
Okay. And he's also really good with dowsing rods. For some reason, he just picked up dowsing rods when they just worked. Why is that?
We did not hear. Could you please repeat?
Yes, the kind of, dowsing rods that people use to kind of find water. He's good at that. Why? He just picked it up and it worked.
That is part of his clairaudience. It is because he can hear where the water is. And you are pulling energy through the rods. It is about hearing the energy.
Okay.
His energy is right for it.
Because the rods kind of have yes or no answers. So they kind of cross for yes and then they move away for no. And he can ask a question and then he can get a yes or no answer.
Yes. Those things can easily be manipulated as well.
Yeah, so he's worried
because
about
you
that.
can use your energy and your preconceived energy can interfere. That is why the people that even use crystals and they swing them back and forth in the pendulums, it is very easy to manipulate it. You manipulate it with your own energy. He is, however, good at it because of his clairaudience and his healing energy. So he can read energy. He needs to have that skill in order to be able to do healing. But it is not always accurate. We would like to say 80% of the time. It is also difficult to say when it is accurate and when it is not accurate, as it completely depends on the person at the time. Your energy, your emotion, and your thoughts, and any preconceived notions that you have. Because, as we have said this before, belief is everything. Belief is what shapes the world. If you believe that you are poor and having a miserable life, you are poor and having a miserable life. If you believe that you are happy and healthy and wealthy, you are happy, healthy, and wealthy. Your belief shapes everything in this reality. It is what makes energy in a physical form. And therefore, those rods are tricky, the same as the pendulums, because your physical energy can affect the answers.
So how could you get a kind of 100% correct, yes or no?
We would say do a meditation beforehand to clear your energy and clear your mind. Once that is done, step straight into it.
What do you mean? Step into it.
Step into doing the rods.
Okay.
Do not meditate now and think you are going to do it an hour later, because your energy will then already be mixed.
Okay.
We do not want to say tainted, because tainted is a negative word. We just mean there will be energy residue again that may affect it. It is easier and better to put yourself into a state of cleansing beforehand and then jump straight into the act of doing it thereafter while the energy is still pure.
Okay.
You will then get a more accurate reading and also have the confidence to know that the answer has not been tainted or affected in any way.
Okay, and is there any kind of meditation he should be doing? And how long?
Well, if you are specifically referring to when he is using the rods, for instance, or if he is going to do any healing Reiki on somebody, then we would say at least a minimum of 20 minutes is what is going to be needed, because you are going to have to first clear your energy and your mind, tap out of your energy, and then tap into his higher self's energy, as well as the energy around him that is needed to perform the ritual, for lack of a better word, in that moment.
And then how would he connect with his higher self before he does or does he do that in the meditation?
You would do that in the meditation. Okay. He would call in his higher self after he has completed and his mind is quiet, or his higher self will automatically just come in. He will know and be able to feel the difference.
Okay.
It would make his work a lot easier as well. I feel that it will strengthen his connection with his higher self as well by doing the meditations, so that he can tap more easily into the energy without having to always do meditations in the future. It will be something that like a light switch, that he would be able to switch on and off if he focuses on doing it correctly now and growing that skill.
And would he just kind of search how to connect with his higher self, kind of guided meditations, or what should he do it by himself? What should he do?
I would say to do with whatever is comfortable in the beginning. We would say that a guided meditation in the beginning, just to sort of find a rhythm, will help a lot. But then thereafter, to go about it on his own, because his mind and his body and his emotions will know what he needs and how to meditate in that moment in order to clear the residue and to call his higher energy in.
Okay, any other abilities that he has, and how can he, develop it better?
He has a lot of energy in his hands. He is able to move things with his hands and just needs to practice. Putting tissue paper, we find, is the best way to boost confidence, because it is not a heavy thing to move. Or feathers. Start with feathers.
How should he do that process?
We are just tapping into the arms. We are going to show you.
Okay.
It is very simple. It is like calling the energy into the palms and then pushing them out. You can use your hands in circular motions to wind the energy up around and then push.
Mm.
And then you will see the feathers or the tissue paper moving. You will need to be a distance from them and make sure that your windows are closed, or you are going to doubt the ability and think it was the wind.
Yeah.
There are people on social media now that are showing these abilities where they can make breezes come up and move leaves. It is from practice. Only people that have healing energy, specifically from their hands, have the portals to move energy like that.
Yes.
This vessel's spouse also has that ability with his hands.
Can he move things with his hands yet?
He cannot do it yet. He has not been practicing, for he is a tough one. He does not have belief and thinks that a lot of it is woo.
Okay, but for Pete's sake, he does have very hot hands. Is that because of the energy?
Yes, it's because of the energy. We were just about to get there. The same as with this vessel's spouse. There is a lot of heat that gets radiated not only from the hands but from the core physical body.
His core is very hot.
Yes, it is all that energy. That energy is stored specifically in the chi. If he focuses on the ancient Asian culture's teachings of how to harness the chi energy, that will be very beneficial for him. He has a very strong chi, very high chi power. That is why he has so much heat radiating off of his body. It is from that energy. It is that energy that he can tap into through his hands that will allow him to be able to move things.
Why does he have a very strong chi or life force energy?
Everybody has very strong life force energies when they come into this world. It is just whether they have squandered that energy or not. He has not squandered that energy. In fact, he has not really tapped into his chi energy in this life, and that is why it is so strong. It is the same with this vessel's partner, who has also not tapped into his chi energy, and therefore it is very strong. They just do not know how to access that energy. Other humans only access that energy, do not know that they are accessing that energy or how to block that energy, and therefore they have very weak chis.
What do you mean some people have squandered their chi?
When you are tapping into energy, we are always tapping into energy, but tapping into energy for things that are not needed is squandering your energy.
Kind of like bleeding yourself dry on people.
Exactly,
yes.
or pouring from an empty cup, or giving your energy away freely to people that you are not supposed to, when you are not supposed to.
Or focusing on negativity, that kind of thing.
People pleasing is another way of explaining it. Majority of the humans that are labeled as people pleasers, you will find that they have very low chi energy. You are supposed to be giving your overflow. There is a very good verse in the Bible that says that you will be giving to people from your overflow. People feel that it means you need to pour from your cup. It does not mean that. That verse means that if you focus on yourself and keeping your cup full and focused with your divine energy and your spirituality, you will have so much energy and light flowing through you that it will literally overflow, and it is your overflow that will reach the people around you. That is how you help people. It is like put your own mask on first before you give other people a mask.
But people know that concept, but they still don't do it.
But they still do not know how to do it. Society has guilted us, especially female humans, into thinking that the sole purpose is to just give the entire time, and to carry this unrealistic responsibility. Unfortunately, society has groomed and trained and people into beliefs that are so far from the truth that it is holding humanity back. That is part of the reason why we are going through this mass awakening at the moment, is to try and break that. That is why we say that part of the healing journey is unlearning everything you've learned, because everything you have been taught is wrong.
Okay, and just getting back to his question, how can he harness that chi then the best way? So you were saying with the hands, but what else can he do?
By going and doing the exercises that the ancient Asians, specifically the Chinese and the Japanese, utilize in order to harness that chi power.
What do they do?
They have very many forms. They are able to utilize it through things like jiu-jitsu, karate, martial arts. All those things teach is discipline, a specific type of discipline. And it is that specific type of discipline that teaches you how to harness your chi.
He does do mixed martial arts, so he could actually do that.
So he would already then have an idea of how to harness his chi energy. It is the energy that comes from the diaphragm.
And then what can he do with that once he's harnessed it?
Well, the chi energy, he can make balls of light. And it can be healing light, and he can push it into a person. He can even turn it into a ball of fire and push it into a tree and set the tree alight. He can literally harness the energy and turn it into whatever he likes. Almost like in your superhero movies. It is the same concept.
I don't think his belief system would be there.
We know, and that's why we say his belief is holding him back with a lot of things right now. But it's because he does not believe in his capability. It is not that he does not believe these things are not possible. He just believes it is not possible for him. He does not have confidence in himself. And that is where the inner work lies.
Any advice for him how he could start that process of inner, belief, basically?
Practice. Play around, like we said, with the feathers and the tissues. The first 3 or 4 times, he is not going to get it right. But we can already see that if he does it by the 5th or the 6th time, he will start seeing results. But he would have to put energy into it. We would say even meditate a little bit beforehand again to clear the mind and to draw the energy in. But be playful and make it fun. Because that is the fastest way to gain confidence and overcome the hurdles.
Okay, any last messages for him today?
We would say that he is on an excellent path and that he has really accomplished quite a lot. And we would like him to focus and remind himself more about the things that he accomplished rather than the things he has not accomplished. Even if he is halfway through certain goals, to focus and take stock of how far you have come to reach this point and to celebrate it.
Anything else for him today?
No, we feel that this is already a lot.
Okay, is it possible to connect with my higher self today to ask a couple of questions?
It will be possible, but we will ask that you guide the vessel back into the pyramid, please.
Okay. Why is the pyramid necessary?
It is just easier for this vessel to get her there, because then she is more open to allowing other energies, because she can see and hear the energies, as opposed to now leaving and then not, for her to then not accept the new energy in, or being fearful.
Okay, so we can just kind of see this pyramid again then on the inside. It seemed to be golden. It was a kind of temple, waiting area. And you can breathe that energy. Seemed like it was very nice, kind of heavy, but in a good way. Light energy.
Yes, I'm back in the temple now.
Okay. And in this temple, would it be possible to connect with my higher self there? Do you see anything specifically?
Yes, she's already waiting.
Very good. What does she look like?
Very beautiful. Beautiful white light.
Mm-hmm.
With different colors, but more like glitter.
Yeah.
Very sparkly. Very shiny.
Okay, now you're able to connect with her today.
Yes, I am.
And can we ask her some questions?
You may. I will step to the back now.
Thank you. Because I would like to know why I can't sleep and how can I improve that?
The sleep is an issue that everybody is going through at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of planetary alignments and a lot of energy being flooded in and out of Earth at the moment. It is affecting everybody, as well as the stress of daily life.
What kind of energy is flooding the planet?
There's a lot of energies. It is good energies and it is negative energies. It is part of the mass awakening. It is part of the shifting of timelines for a lot of people. So your physical body is going under a lot of stress. The physical body might be tired, but because the spirit and the minds are having to do a lot of work, it might be difficult to sleep. We would say relaxation techniques might help, but we are also not sure that it will help at this stage. It is a common problem that the vast majority are having to face.
And why would the relaxation not work, those techniques?
They might work, but they might not work because it is the energy around you that is affecting the sleep. Some people are waking up a lot at night because of the rush of energies that come through. So it'll be like a blast of energy and it is overwhelming and it affects the body, and then 2 minutes later it's over. But sometimes it might come like shock waves after each other, and so it is difficult to say. We feel that the relaxation will help a lot because we feel the body is also a little bit stressed and tired, but it might not fully work, as in you might still wake up during the night, but you will be able to go back to sleep again. Meditating will also help.
And what are the energy blasts that are coming in?
Well, the Earth's vibration is lifting, and with the mass awakening, the energies are being pushed into Earth right now to help with the mass awakening, to shock people's vessels and their minds awake.
Where is that coming from?
It is coming from all around us. It is coming from other galaxies. There are many that are involved in this process. It is something that the planet has been working towards for the last few years. There was a big planetary alignment yesterday where all the planets were in a row. This particularly will affect a lot of people. It brings things to the surface, especially unhealed versions of yourself and people's true natures. It is actually a very scary time for humans because what you see is what you get now, and people do not always believe it. Any trauma or anxiety or negativity or worry or anything that you are suppressing in your body and in your mind is going to come to the surface. You cannot run from it. You cannot hide it. You have to deal with it. It is part of the ascension. That is why we say the only way that we feel you will get any kind of help is just to try and help the vessel relax and handle the energies as it comes through. There is a lot of healing work to be done, and there is no way around it. If things are coming up in a negative sense around you, you know that it is time to do some shadow work and heal those lost parts of yourself once and for all.
What kind of relaxation techniques would help?
Well, for one, long baths with your bath bombs will be very soothing.
How long should the bath be?
For each person, it is different. This vessel cannot lie in the bath for very long, whereas your vessel can lie in the bath for a bit longer. Go with your body in the moment. Today, you might only need 5 minutes. Tomorrow, you might need 15 minutes and a glass of wine. Take it as it comes. But there is no quick fix for this. You will have to deal with these emotions as they come up, have to deal with the thoughts as they come up. It is just the energy at the moment. This vessel is also struggling with sleeping and started taking things for sleeping. It is not our vessel, so we cannot advise, but it is happening because of this, and we do not know that the vessel knows that it is because of this. It is not just normal daily stress.
Okay, so what was the 25th? Yesterday, it's the planetary alignment. Just can you talk more about that? What was happening?
All the planets came into alignment. This will never happen in your lifetime again.
And what did that mean for us on Earth?
We are shifting into a new phase. We are now moving out of Aquarius.
So it's moving into Pisces.
Yes.
What does that mean for us?
Well, it means a new era. It's like the Industrial Revolution that happened after a planetary alignment. So the planetary alignment is just moving the planet into a new age.
Is it the kind
and moving out of the old age?
Yes.
The old age that we were in was about going inward and healing. And that is why the energies are so intense now, because anything that was not healed or dealt with has to come to the surface in order to move into the new age.
And is this kind of a golden age, or hopefully it's not a
Well, for a lot,
age?
it will be a golden age. Some people are coming out of 16-year cycles, 16-year karmic cycles that they have had to deal with, where it seemed like things were just going wrong in their lives constantly because of instant karma. It was fast tracking them. Now they will move into a golden age, an age of peace where they can now live life and carry on with other lessons. They do not need to pay their karmic debt back. Others that did not have to pay karmic debts in the last 16-year cycle will now be moving into their karmic debt cycle.
Why is it 16 years?
That was just the rotation
of
the planetary alignments and the age that we are in.
Okay, anything else about sleeping, getting better sleep? So it seems like taking something might help.
Yeah, it might help, but we would not suggest that, because then you do not allow the mind to do the healing.
What do you mean?
If you take something to help you sleep, it cuts the brain off. It switches the brain off. Your brain still needs to be able to function with you in the spiritual realm. That is also why you are waking up a lot. We would say rather go for more herbal things. There is teas that can help to calm the body and the mind.
Anything
a beautiful
specific?
flower called chamomile that can work wonders. You can just pick it and put it into a little sieve and make yourself some chamomile tea. That can help. Meditation can help as well, just to help clear the mind and relax. Trying to set your body into sort of a relaxing ritual or a routine, if you will, a bedtime routine when things are like this will go a long way to helping with the sleep.
Okay, and then I was thinking of moving. I'm living kind of in the city now, but I want to move more towards the ocean to be with my partner. Is that a good decision?
Well, you have been thinking about moving for a while. It is not something that has just come up this year or even last year. It has come up before, has it not? So I think you in your heart know what you want to do, but you have doubt. One cannot live life through doubt. We feel that it will be a good move. The ocean is very healing, and it will also help you to maintain yourself with the work that you are doing, having to carry other people's emotional baggage and helping them with their healing is physically draining on your body. The ocean will help you recharge faster. So we see that it will be of great benefit.
How will the ocean help?
The ocean is very cleansing. Just being close enough to hear the ocean while you are sleeping already does the work. Being able to go and have a walk on the beach after you have seen clients or when you are stressed for grounding will work marvelously. The beach sand is made up of shells, which contains a lot of calcium in it. The ocean has a lot of magnesiums as well as other forms of minerals. So just having your feet in there, not only is it soothing energetically, but it is helping and nourishing your body at the same time. The ocean is of a very high vibration, so it is the quickest way to relax the body and clean your aura of any energetical residue, which will also help with sleeping.
Okay, but it just seems like it's a little bit far out of town. It just seems a little bit quiet and sleepy and, not where the action is.
Sometimes it is a blessing to slow down a little bit, to have a bubble, as you will, that is not chaotic and crazy that you can escape to. It may seem boring, if you will, but we feel that you will find a great deal of peace. You will find a side of yourselves that you did not know existed or that you needed. It will be very good for you. Okay. It will be difficult. It is an adjustment. But you are not going to be too far from where the action is happening, if you will.
Yes.
But we find with your line of work to have a peaceful, quiet space for most of the time, we feel could be very beneficial towards you.
Yes, I was just worried about clients because I'm very central now, then I'll be much further away to drive for people.
Well, at the end of the day, you can only live life for you, and you need to trust the universe and trust God. Yes, you may be central and convenient now, but it is not convenient for you and your journey going forward in order to maintain your strength to keep doing what you are doing. The clients that need healing from you will find you and will still continue to see you. There is always ways around it. It will also show you which clients are truly dedicated and which clients are actually only wasting your energy and your time.
Okay.
You do have 1 or 2 clients that we would refer to as more of a tick than anything else.
How so?
Because they are draining your energy and stealing more of your energy than what they are getting out of anything. They are not doing any of the physical work, really. They are not doing anything to better themselves. They are just doing the sessions thinking it's a quick fix, and by tomorrow it is all forgotten. And they feel good because while they are doing the sessions with you, they are literally siphoning the energy out of you and filling their bellies just the same way a tick would.
Okay, so it would, the kind of more serious clients, like you said, who are wanting to change will be there.
Yes, and there are new clients that will be attracted to you as well. There will always be a flow of people coming to you. You do not need to worry about that. It is also not your concern to accommodate everybody. You need to look after yourself, because if you do not take care of yourself, how are you then able to help everybody else?
Yes.
That is what it comes down to.
Like you said earlier, give to people of your overflow.
Exactly.
Okay.
We feel that you need to focus on your own happiness. Will it make you happy to stay closer to your love?
Yes.
Then that is all that you need to know. Is that not?
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, and just work-wise, I'm still doing a lot of kind of 3D works, and then I do the kind of 5D work, and then I do now want to get into the bath bomb business. Do you have anything to say about that?
It is wonderful, all these things that you are wanting to accomplish and wanting to do. What we would like to say is, do not burn yourself out. That is also why we feel it will be beneficial for you to move closer to the ocean, not only energetically, but it will cause you to slow down a little bit. Slow and steady wins the race. You can accomplish all these things, but not when you are living a life that is rushed and busy. You cannot put your soul and your energy into everything the way that you are like. And that is causing an internal struggle with you. It is also making you lose joy for the things that you were doing because it was fun. And we do not want you to lose that.
Okay.
We would say the bath bombs is more of a hobby.
Yes.
A hobby to relax you and help clear your mind from other things. So do not allow it to rob you or put too much pressure on yourself to get that right now. Keep practicing, keep doing it.
Okay. Okay, and I was just thinking about the hypoglycemia. So I have my kind of blood sugar drops and I get very shaky. Why? It drops very quickly if I don't eat every 2 hours, and I get shaky. It's very uncomfortable. Why is that happening?
You are not going to like what we are going to say now, but we want you to know that we are saying this with absolute love and because you have asked us, and we will only be honest.
Okay.
You are not taking care of your body the way that you should.
In which way?
Your weight is not where it needs to be. It is putting strain on your body. We would say that there needs to be some adjustments in your diet as well. And then in part, it is stress that is creating this. General stress in life. To find maybe a better way of releasing your stress will also go a long way to help you and help your body to correct that deficiency.
But why is it creating the hypoglycemia? What is creating the hypoglycemia?
We would say that it is a type of deficiency, almost like a vitamin deficiency, and that is why we brought your diet. We also feel it has something to do with insulin and the way that your body is breaking the insulin down. That again, we will say is linked a little bit to your weight and the lack of exercise that needs to go with it. It is a lifestyle thing. It is not something that cannot be corrected. It can be healed very easily.
Okay, what should I do then to correct it?
We would say exercise more and make your dietary adjustments. The wine will not help with the insulin.
Yes. What does that do?
It spikes the blood sugar.
Okay.
And depending on how your body can break it down, some metabolize too quickly, some metabolize too slowly, some don't metabolize at all. The body is a very intricate thing. It is different for most people. But we feel that the liquids that the liquid base products that are high in sugar and that will spike your insulin levels, you should stay away from until this problem is rectified, because it will only worsen it.
Okay.
Worsen it.
Yes. Okay, anything about the food? What should I cut out?
We would say that you need to introduce more antioxidants to your diet.
In which sense?
Spinaches.
Yes.
Broccolis. Blueberries.
What will that do?
It will help your body to get rid of toxins, which will in turn will help your organs to function better. Sometimes when the organs are clogged up, it also creates these problems, like the liver or the kidneys. If one is prone to kidney stones, your body cannot break down calcium, so you cannot eat high oxalate foods like spinach, for example. But we feel that the oxalates could be beneficial, not a lot, but beneficial. If you do oxalates and antioxidant foods, we would say to add a little bit of yogurt or cheese to it. The dairy helps the body to not let the calcium crystallize in the bloodstream. It is the same with staying away from sugary drinks, or even, as we have said, wine is very high in sugar and it spikes the insulin without one knowing. And then it becomes difficult for the body to sometimes break down the glucose. We would also say to maybe stay away from GMOs, the wheats.
What does that do?
Well, first of all, it is not a pure food from this earth. It has already been played with and contaminated, if you will. So your body already cannot, a normal human body can already not break down those proteins correctly. It is not the proteins that one should require. We would say things like sourdough breads would be very beneficial.
What about
for your
rye
body.
bread? Would rye bread also be good?
Rye bread is also very good.
Okay.
But rye bread, we would say, is more for digestive issues.
Okay. The sourdough is better.
Sourdough is very good. It contains a lot of probiotics that your stomach needs, that most humans are deficient. No, most humans don't have proper gut health because of all the chemicals that you are constantly eating and putting into your body. People do not realize how much chemicals are in their foods.
Yes.
It's about just managing those things.
Okay, can you please do a body scan of me and just find out if there's anything else in my body that's out of balance?
Something on your left side, but we cannot tell. Would you be able to stand up for us, please? Okay, you can sit down now. Thank you. We can start off by telling you that you do have some blockages in your crown chakra, but we believe that is from doubt, and hopefully after this conversation that we had about your other questions, some of this will be relieved. We also find that there is a blockage in the root chakra at the moment, and that you are not feeling very safe and grounded. We also believe that that is to do with the situation and the decisions that you are having to take, and that those will also be resolved once you make the decision. The one that we do, however, feel that you would need to meditate and do some healing on is the sacral.
Yes, what's going on there?
One of your portals are very active. It is difficult to tell you
Mm-hmm.
It is the portal 6. The only way that you can find out about this is something called the human design chart.
Okay.
It is the most accurate out of astrology and birthing charts. It is the most accurate chart a human can have.
Mm. And what would
it
I
is
learn
not
from
a blockage, but it is a portal which is creating some problems in this life which you do not understand. We believe it would benefit you to read up on your human design chart.
Okay.
It is going to give you your aha moment, if you will,
Yes.
and put things into perspective.
Okay. Okay, is anything else in my body that's out of balance, and would you kind of be able to balance
Yes,
it?
I'm sorry, we are still getting there. We just decided to focus on the chakras.
Okay.
We have noticed that there is a bit of a lag of energy on the left side of the body. Has the left side been feeling heavier than usual?
It's like weird. It's kind of light to the one side or the other side.
Yes, we have picked that up. That is coming from your left foot and from your ankle specifically.
Okay.
We would say do some ankle stretches and exercises.
Yeah.
It will help alleviate that to correct the posture. We also feel like it is more in the uterine area on the left-hand side. There is a little bit of a blockage there as well. We are clearing that energy for you at the moment.
Thank you. What created that?
Hormonal changes.
Okay.
With the female body, these things happen often, and with this new planetary alignment that happened, every woman's cycle and hormonal cycle is now off balance. If you were having your cycle on a certain day of the month, that changed this month for every single woman. Not one woman has been on time or had their regular cycle. It is the planetary alignment. Everybody's hormones are shifting into the new higher vibration. You will just need to be patient. It is going to last like this until March, and then your hormones will stabilize again.
Yeah, because I'm usually on the full moon, and now I'm just like on no moon.
This vessel was also on the full moon and thought she was having a miracle baby.
Okay, I thought I was the only one who was thinking they were having a miracle baby.
No, every single woman on this planet is experiencing the exact same thing as a collective.
That's good to know. Okay, but you're kind of clearing that as we
speak,
right?
We've cleared the blockage that has happened because of the hormonal changes. Okay. So you should also feel less pressure on the left side as well.
Okay, good. Okay, is there anything else in the body?
No.
Okay. Is there any loss? Sorry, I was also wanting to know what is the percentage of water is good for baths in 60% humidity, Cape Town? What percentage of water is good?
Well, the humidity in Cape Town is not as high as the humidity in other parts of the country. So it is hard to tell because the weather here in the Cape has also been changing. It is becoming more tropical. Yes, this change was predicted a few years ago, and it is a slow process.
Yes.
But we would also not like to give you all the answers. We feel that there is no fun in that. Part of your journey with the bath bombs are figuring out your recipe ratios.
Okay.
If you would very much like us to tell you, we will, but we feel that it is going to take the fun out of it for you. So you can tell us what you decide.
Well, I would like to know the answer, then I can go test it.
We would say that it is only slightly more than what you think, about 3% more than what you think.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, and is there any last messages for me today?
We would just like for you to also take a moment and take stock of what you have accomplished and how far you have come. We feel that you do not celebrate your wins as much as you need to.
No, I don't.
Yes, and we feel that that is very important. It is important for you to celebrate your wins. It helps you to gain confidence, and the confidence will help you to develop your abilities. You have wonderful abilities that are yet to be unlocked, but your lack of belief is what is holding you back.
Same as the previous one.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And what is my most wonderful ability?
Well, you have many talents.
Mm-hmm.
Telepathy is one of the talents that you hold.
Okay. And telepathy, you said earlier, is kind of going into someone.
Claircognizance, yes, being able to go into somebody's mind and read their minds. You do it without realizing it. That is why you have those aha moments when you're like, I knew it. I knew that person said that. I knew that person thought that. I knew that person was going to do that, because you went into their minds. You did not know you did, but that is what you did.
How can I do that consciously?
Practice makes perfect.
Okay.
Everything and anything on this planet is about practice. Failure, getting up and doing it again, because that is what you are here to do.
But how can you practice something you don't even know you're doing?
But now you know you are doing it, and now you are consciously aware, and that is where the difference comes in. So now it will be the same. As you will play games with your partner, he will play games with you, where you will think of a number only once. It is not like clairaudience where you will repeat the same thing over and over again for him to hear it as if you are talking. You will think of a number once, or he rather will think of a number once, and you will guess it.
Yes. Okay.
Or you will put 3 cards, show him 3 cards, and he would have to pick one, for instance, and you would have to say which one he picked.
Okay.
As long as he is not repeating it, it is a one thought wonder, as we would like to say when it comes to mind reading.
Yes.
Whereas clairaudience is when there is a repetitive. It is like talking. You are saying the same thing over and over again.
Okay. Well, that's really helpful.
We find that that will help you a lot.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Any other last messages for me?
No.
Okay.